We're doing a community project in Skagit County, Washington, and we're creating a discovery experience at one of the cemeteries there. We'd love to have your help. Our goal is to make sure that each of the people with a gravestone in that cemetery have a profile on the family tree. Let me show you how you can help. I'm going to share my screen. So we've set up a Google Sheet using data that was shared with us by Billing Graves. And if you come into this Google Sheet, you can just check out a few names. That just lets other people know you're working on them. And then you'll click on the link and it'll take you right into the family search version of that record. Now at this point, there's lots of different ways to do this. And so we really leave it up to you for how you want to get this person on the tree. This one actually is a pretty easy one because if you look, this tells us that this record is not attached to anyone on the tree, but there's some similar records that are attached to this person right here. So if you click here, I just copied the ID. And then if I hit attach to family tree, I can then paste that in here and hit select. And really quickly, then I can verify that this is the right person and attach it. So those are the nice ones. If you get those, they go really quickly and you would just mark a 1 that you're done. Now, one thing you can do really quick is if you want, you can check to see if you're related. So you can hit view my relationship. So this is my 7th cousin 4 times removed. You can also attach other records, maybe a census record or something like that. Let me show you one other example. Okay, so again, here we are on the page that has the record. In this case, we don't have any similar records. So what we're going to do in this case, now this is a trickier one. Oh no, this is going to be fine. So what we do in this case is we come over here to family search and we hit recents. And then we hit add unconnected person. And what we're going to do is create a profile for this person. Now he may be on the tree, but we won't know that until we start to add more information about him. So there we put in that information and we hit next. And notice now that once I did that, it looked for possible matches and it's great that we have this perfect match right here. So I hit view person. So here's the profile. I copy the ID, I come back over here and I drop it in here and then we can compare. Okay. You won't always have a possible match like that pop up. If not, then what you would do is create a profile for the person on the tree, look for other sources that you can attach and see if you can try to connect that person to other records. Let's just show one last one really quick. Okay, so here we have Mary Nichols. So notice for women, this is very common that you'll probably have a married name here, which is what makes these a little harder to link to the tree because women on the tree always have usually have their maiden name. Now here's one nice thing on Billing Graves. If you scroll down, they'll sometimes have relationships on the headstone. So someone that they're buried next to. And then sometimes here at the bottom, you'll see a family search link. So in this case, you can see Mary and James. Now these are sometimes siblings, but the way this looks right here, this looks very much like a husband-wife relationship. So in this case, what we might want to do is actually try to find the husband on the tree first and then connect him to his wife and find out what her maiden name was. So again, let me just do one last one of these. You just hit add unconnected person. You bring in the information for him. You can see we have a birth info, and then we have a death here. I'll put that in here, and then we'll see if maybe a possible match comes up. And remember, our focus person was Mary. So as we look here, trying to decide if we have a match. Now there's some possible matches here, but I don't see anything that's like, I don't see anything relating to Washington or Mount Vernon. So I'm going to create a new person. And at this point, what I can do is let's first of all attach it to our Billing Graves record. Oh, not yet. So here what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Ancestry. And notice that once we're here on Ancestry, you can start to see other death records that we can line up. So notice here that from this death record, I'm going to get his father's name and his exact death date and place. I can also, so let's go to that record. And so what I'm going to be doing is bringing this information over. Notice I have a whole bunch of possible matches. And then you can always hit find others to see if maybe he's in a public member tree. And if he is, then we should be able to connect him with his spouse. So here he is, and he's living with, or he's married to Mary. And if we go back to our original thing, here we have Mary who has the same birth year and death year as this Mary. And so at that point, I would bring the information over, including Mary, and then I would attach her to that Billing Graves record that we were originally working with. So we're really grateful to have your help with this project. Just keep in mind, there's lots of different ways to do it. The main goal is just to make sure that each person has a profile on the family tree and that we connect them to other family members so that we can create a discovery experience for people that come to visit the cemetery.